Alright, so we are now up to turn 4, nearing the end of August. And as we see, this is the Western Front. This is the French starting to get their troops in line to try and block the German advance. And it looks like they've got a pretty effective defense. So the French are able to inflict some damage against the Germans before they try to pull back from their failed attempt to take Mulhausen. That is definitely a formidable looking defense now. So the French look like they're set up pretty well against the river lines to stop the German advance. We'll see next turn if the Germans are able to punch through or not. It's usually not a successful venture, but we shall see. The Russians take Memel, and the Russian armies in East Prussia start moving forward. As you can see, they're seem to be trying to move along the river lines and keep some distance. This is East Galicia again. The first attempt to attack Limburg doesn't do much damage. The Russians tend to have slightly less readiness, so sometimes they'll take an extra point or so of damage as compared to the Central Powers. The Serbian front. The Serbs have had a little bit of a battle here. The Austrians still look like they're in pretty good shape. If you notice, I keep a corporate core in Sarajevo. That's to keep any kind of surprise attack on Sarajevo, which brings the Italians in a little earlier. I've fallen for that before. Money is a bit strapped. I actually ended up spending a fair amount of the Russians' money on reinforcing the Serbian army. That's true of all sides. All sides have trouble recouping their losses in the early months. During the winter, it starts to get a little bit better. And if you notice there, that recon unit actually did some damage to an HQ, which does cause some slight supply problems to the units that are adjacent to that HQ. Looks like the Germans are getting some reinforcements. The Austrian Second Army is arriving, and that actually puts them in a good place to retaliate against the Russian invaders. Our list of events, you'll notice Japan declared war on the Central Powers. That's not really anything that affects in-game stuff. Just a little bit. Alright, this is a little blurb about the importance of Holland. Germany does get some extra points, MPPs from Holland. So if we can sway them diplomatically to move away from Germany, we can actually deny them some MPPs and some morale. It's just another blurb about unrestricted warfare, how it works. Alright, and real quickly before we end this session, I'm just going to take a look at... Oh yeah, this turned out to be a little fortuitous. You'll notice I've got some pretty good odds for attacking against these two units that are on this side of the border. However, you'll notice down here my supplies, the situation is getting a little rough. This area always tends to be a little bit of a supply bottleneck. I need to try and get one of these HQs back around to this area right here. This is a very important pass. If the Russians can come through here, they can come straight into Hungary through Transylvania. Yeah, I should have some very good opportunities to strike back as I pull out of this area. The only downside is I have to choose something to attack, and as you can see, there's plenty of Russian units. Still, I'll be able to do a retreat from Limburg and inflict some decent damage to the Russians in the process. But anyway, we'll wrap this session up at this point. Thank you for watching this AAR, and I will hope to see you in the next one.